fuel tank restoration and maintenance on an early Porsche. One of the most expensive cars around today, one of the cheapest ones to maintain and fix. That's why they're worth so much money. If you look at that Austrian bike over there, it's a good bike, not worth a cent in resale value for one reason only, maintenance reliability, and just in the market they're just not accepted as the duck's guts. These things are the duck's guts. Hands down, you can't beat them. I've been involved with these for over 30 years. The 911s, they are just wonderful. Fix them once and they're fixed. If you need to fix them twice, you can fix them twice. Anyway, this is a quick video on what to do with the fuel system on these cars. Actually, we'll just bring that back. I've got an extinguisher mounted there, my little travel rug. Have a barbecue or a lunch. And there's the fuel tank, or I suppose if you're in America, you'd call it a fuel cell, I don't know. You think it's the same colour as the car, it's actually not. So this is held in by 1, 2, I think 3 little clips. Unbolt that. This car, being an early short wheelbase car, has one fuel line to it, a drain plug, and that's it. There's no lift pump in this tank. So this is only for the really early cars, 65 to 68. For 3 years they ran this tank, but it runs the same for all of them. So you rip that out, get this tank out, pull the sender out. There should be no reason why that's laferged. Then you hit this with a wire brush on a 4-inch angle grinder. It's one of those, not a round one, but the conical shaped ones. Wear some decent gear because the brushes come off and they go inside you. They're bastards. Wear proper eye protection. Grind all the shit off this tank, top and bottom. Take it back to bare metal. Then you buy a POR 15 kit or POR 15 kit. You flush it out with a degreaser, which really I don't think is degreaser. Just clean the inside of this fuel tank as good as you can. Hot water, do what they say to do. Then let the tank dry. The trick is to have this tank dry. It can be rusty inside, but it has to be dry. Then put the POR 15 in it, and I tape this hole up and the other holes up. Then you rattle it around and let it slosh around the POR 15. It's pretty simple, follow the instructions. Once it's done, you can put thinners in this fuel tank. I've done lots of cars, lots of motorbikes, actually more motorbikes. I've done it for years. It is a perfect product. Whatever is threaded, e.g. these screws or the units down the bottom where the fuel line goes in the plug, you have to be careful. After you've done it, don't wait too long. Pull it out, that plug, and then maybe put another plug in with a bit of thread tape or something. You've got to keep the thread really clean. Once it's done, the shit inside this is as hard as a cat's head. It'll cover up rust, it'll fix leaks, it'll do everything. Once that's done, and you've got the fuel tank done inside, obviously seal it up so she's perfectly clean. You can put whatever you want in there after that. Just let me come around. I've been cleaning the garage all day. I've got to do a mini transmission, which is there. Once that's done, or transaxle, whatever you call it, it's an English piece of shit. Here's the stuff we want. Okay. Gravitex, or something similar. Once you've got that, you put that on with a like a spray putty gun, one of those cheap ones from off eBay for 10 or 20 bucks, and that will give you this coating. Put that on what you've sprayed from grinding that tank with that wire brush back to the bare tank. Keeping in mind you don't want anything inside the fuel tank. That's all sealed off with beautiful tape and all the threads are clean and it's immaculate. Cleanliness is next to godliness when it comes to fuel. Once you've done that, you then put your 2-pack on it. So same thing, just spray this with a 2-pack grey. Whatever Porsche recommend, it's an actual colour that comes, I think it's a Verth body colour. You can't buy it anymore. I know it looks very similar to this car, but it's actually not this colour. Then put your 2-pack on that, this shit here, put that on. This is a 2-pack finish. I don't run a spare. Wait a week, 2 weeks, bolt it back in. The thing is then immaculate inside because you've been really fussy with what it is. So there's no rust, there's no leaks in that fuel tank now because you've filled it with the product called POR or POR15. It's not cheap, costs you $100 or $200, whatever it is. Then you've done your fuel tank. Once you've done that, you've got a line that runs up the centre of this car. You can buy that line brand new. Buy it for $50 or $100. You then replace that. You've got a little rubber hose from this tank to that line, and that's it. Apart from the plug that goes in it with a brand new washer. So we're all done. We're now brand new. Fuel tank, a little bit of 6-inch rubber, comes up the line, all brand new. Now we need a light, don't we? All right, we get near my fast moving tools and my lovely Australian badge because I'm very patriotic. If you're not Australian, I really don't want to know. But anyway, so you'll see the fuel line. If I'm really good here, it pops out. Where are we? Bloody hidden. Okay, right here, where my little finger is. It's not my pinky. There's my pinky. That's that fuel line that pops out. Now, so we come out of there. Then, as I've mentioned before, we run a big EFI steel filter before the pump, which is there. Then goes through the nice pump, so that's protected, it's filtered. So the pump won't, because I'm not going to swear anymore, because apparently I'm not supposed to swear. It's not going to degrade the fuel pump. Then it comes through your fuel pressure regulator, and then from there it goes back out through here, and I've got these nice hose clamps. I don't have the hose clamps of the worm drive. I have these really nice crimp ones. T-piece, where it then goes through a restrictor and back feeds back through my pump so I don't overpressure the carbs when I turn it off, but that's, you've seen that on my previous video. But from there it goes to 2. And then from that it goes to 2, and then we have, look a bit untidy actually, I don't like that. I've got 2 filters. With Weber's, 1 filter for one filter for the other. You're done. All brand new lines. Those rubbers, same as an aircraft, 5 years, replace them. The filters, the amount you run this car, you can run it for 5 years, not a problem. You're not going to do 20,000 Ks in 5 years in this car. If you wanted to be really anal, you could replace them every couple of years. They're only worth $10 each. So that is the way that a fuel system is done on this car. It is actually better than factory because that now is chemically sealed inside. It will never rust inside or outside. 2-pack on the outside, it's got that POR15 on the inside. Like I say, you can put thinners in it. The other thing is too, I have to be a little bit careful here. I'm very careful with my lid. When it comes up, there is a neck, and then there is a rubber, and then there is this jobby. You have to do this as well. Do this, and you do that. So this has been done in POR15. This rubber seal here, and this cap, this is a little bit of trivia. It smells nice. we're talking Deutschlanders here. This is the same. So if I take this off, and don't turn them off. If you want to do things properly, you do things properly. So these are designed to push down. You push and turn. Don't use the load. That's the oil cap. And let's just have a bit of a look here. That's the fuel cap. They are identical seals. I'm really lucky that this is a 1968 car. That's the original cap. As you can see, the fuel's affected it. And this wasn't 100%, but now it is. And as you can see, the oil cap, which is hidden away and plus it's got oil, is absolutely perfect. So you line that up, you press, you do not turn, then you turn, and she's done. These are the same seal. This is the Deutsch coming out post-war. So once again, find the location, you press and turn. You just don't turn. They lock in beautifully and they'll last forever. Like just this little stuff here, it's just gorgeous. We've got an earth strap here so your fuel hose doesn't rub on it. It's just beautifully made, but very, very austere. The other thing with these 911s, and I'm sure it's I only deal with 911s up to 89, proper 911s. I don't know if you can see it. Let's find the light. Here it is. This is the other thing with Porsches. You'll see the little shocker here for the bonnet. It's not a hood, might be a frunk. Anyway, it's mounted the right way. So the body is on the upside and the shaft, if you can see it, is on the bottom. So any oil in here seals this shaft, or lubricates it. There's one on each side. That's probably a better view actually. Get my fingers out the way. You can see the strut there. These struts are really important. If I pull this bonnet down, it barely holds itself up. As you can see, barely holds itself up. Only just. It's a reasonable temperature here in Adelaide, might be 20 degrees. So what happens is people put the incorrect struts on these Porsches and then it's too hard. And this car is built performance and it just, it's built properly. So if you come up here, you'll see the ribbing. You'll notice that these things crack through here and the bonnet sort of bends in half. That's because these are too strong. So if this is designed to last forever with the correct parts. Without the correct parts, this will crack. People will then say it's cheap German shit. And it probably is cheap German shit, but the cheap German shit will last forever if the corresponding part is correct. That is an original 68 Porsche bonnet or frunk or hood. Well, it's not a hood, and it is perfect. Likewise, if we go to the rear of this car, and this is a 68, I don't know what the other ones are, but we have in the rear one strut there. We have no strut there. You can't mount a strut there. Same reason. I'll turn the light off. If we pull the rear engine lid down, it's about the same tension. There's nothing in it. It's sort of neutral. And that is because they can make this rear engine lid as light as light. And if you actually have a look at it, it's cocked, and it's supposed to be cocked. It's just not important for Porsche to make this thing look nice when it's up. This is light, one strut. right tension, no cracks. This car's all original. I was very lucky when I got it that, you know, some dickhead from California hadn't, you know, gone to MotorZone or wherever they bloody go over there, AutoZone I think they call it, and just bought a generic strut for it and routed the engine lid and the bonnet. It's absolutely perfect and original to a short-based car. So very important to keep that. And if you have a look at it, it's very neutral. It's a wonderful thing. Anyway, that's how you do the fuel tank on a Porsche. They're all that colour. They're not any other colour. And cost you, I don't know, 100, 200 bucks to do it yourself. Anyone can do that themselves. And new line through the guts, worth about 50 bucks, 100 bucks. 3 filters, new pump, and that's it. And I would think you wouldn't have to worry about the fuel system in this car forever, apart from changing those filters out. It will last forever. Anyway, that's the latest one on the Porsche, on the update on what I've done to it and how I did it. I've been a bit slack lately because I've been onto the Panzerhauswagen. It's been taking all my time, but I did take this out today. Been nice weather here, and I've got some nice fish. I'm going to have that for dinner. Later.